Stop. Look around. Count the faces in your neighborhood, your class, your office. So many of them fighting a silent war they never chose. Not a war with guns or fists, but with a glowing screen. A secret battle in the dark at 2 a.m. A battle against a fire they invited in with one click, one swipe, it's just for a minute. That fire has a name: pornography addiction. It sells pleasure, but delivers pain. It smiles, but it steals. It promises escape, but it builds a cage you carry inside your head. At first it looks harmless, fun, casual, private, a quick break, a way to forget stress. But it isn't a snack. It's a slow-acting poison sugar-coated with music and pixels. It doesn't add life, it subtracts it, piece by piece. It doesn't shout while it destroys you. It whispers. Quietly it eats your focus, your energy, your self-respect, your peace. You don't notice the theft until your joy has a price tag, and your soul feels overdrafted. Here's the brutal science. Porn hijacks your brain's reward system. Every view dumps an unnatural tidal wave of dopamine, so big that normal pleasures can't compete. Achieving a goal? Too slow. A real hug? Too simple. Dinner with family? Too quiet. Your brain gets trained to crave the quick hit, not the real thing. The wiring shifts. The threshold climbs. What used to be enough stops being enough. You go back for more, for new, for extreme. The more you chase, the less you feel. The less you feel, the more you chase. That's the loop. Soon the world loses color. Books feel boring, conversations feel flat, nature feels muted. Laughter is thinner. Time with people you love becomes a chore your brain tries to skip. You start bargaining with yourself. I'll just check for a second. Then a second becomes an hour, and an hour becomes regret. You swear you'll quit tomorrow, and tomorrow becomes another lie you tell yourself to survive today. And your body pays for it. Men report erectile dysfunction, performance anxiety, and zero interest in real intimacy. Because the mind is overstimulated by fantasy and undernourished by reality. Women report depression, anxiety, and body image torment, because fake scenes teach toxic comparisons and impossible expectations. Sleep gets wrecked, energy tanks, your mood swings. Shame sets in. You hide. You delete your history, but you can't delete the ache inside your chest that says, "What's happening to me?" Then relationships begin to crack. Real intimacy needs trust, presence, and patience. Addiction burns all three. Husbands turn away from wives. Wives turn away from husbands. The person in your bed starts to feel like a stranger because your brain is chasing a fantasy that no human can match. Secrets grow. Resentment grows. Communication dies. And the statistics are ugly. Frequent porn use is associated with dramatically higher rates of breakup and divorce. Translate that. Families shatter. Children stand in doorways wondering why love fell apart, all because a lie on a screen replaced the truth in a home. Even before marriage, the damage is deep. Young men and women step into dating armed with illusions. They expect performance, not partnership. A show, not a soul. Awkwardness rises, confidence collapses, social anxiety spikes. When your brain is trained by edits and angles and endless novelty, how do you sit in silence with a real person and feel okay? How do you learn patience, kindness, listening? Addiction steals those muscles before you ever use them. And society. Multiply one wounded mind by millions. What kind of world do we get? A workforce that can't focus, communities that can't bond, parents that can't be present, hearts that can't feel. Empathy erodes. People become objects. Desire becomes command. And behind the curtain sits an industry that feeds on exploitation. Human trafficking, coercion, abuse. Not every face on that screen is there by choice. Every click is a vote with your attention. Every view is a micropayment of power. Ask yourself, am I funding someone else's pain? Deeper still is the damage you can't photograph. The soul. Every faith, every culture, every honest conscience agrees. Reducing humans to body parts corrodes the heart. What you let in shapes who you become. If you feed yourself filth, don't be surprised when joy goes missing. If your gaze is wild, your peace will be weak. Real love requires reverence. Porn teaches consumption. Real love says, I see your dignity. Porn says, I take what I want. If you're trapped, act today, not tomorrow, not after this week, not when stress is lower. Today, tell someone you trust. Ask for help. Join a community. See a counselor. Bring your struggle into the open where it can't breathe. Trade midnight scrolling for morning movement. Trade isolation for conversation. Trade fantasy for purpose. Your family deserves your presence. Your partner deserves your honesty. Your younger self deserves your protection. Your future self deserves your discipline.